Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we'll be taking a look at Bottle Change Rider Series 09 Kamen Rider Cross the Charge. I think it's kind of weird that we got this before we even got a normal Cross Z form. That never happened. It's kind of a bummer. I really liked that form and it wasn't in the show very long. He graduated to this form very quickly. So it's kind of a bummer. The other thing that's weird is this is in the Bottle Change Rider series, but this does not have the normal Bottle Change Rider gimmick. Obviously, this form on the show is not known to split apart and combine with other full bottles to make new forms. So that is not what it does. It has this gimmick where the headpiece, or the helmet, rests on the back, and then you press the button and it's supposed to flip on the front of his face. I mean, okay, I guess. I guess it is true on the show when he first transforms, his head has a weird look like the top of one of those juice drink containers, like the Japanese Capri Sun. The two things that came with the Slosh Driver, the little jellies, they are like a little plastic pouch that has a little plastic nozzle for you to drink out of. And so his head kind of looks like that nozzle until it gets the helmet over top. Which on the show I believe is supposed to be formed out of the jelly. That's why it's like that translucent blue. It shows the other figures available in the Bottle Change Rider series, but again, they're going to have no compatibility with this guy. So this review is going to go pretty quick. Let's go ahead, let's get him out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here is Cross Z Charge out of the packaging. Pretty standard articulation-wise. Now, the head does not move because of this gimmick, I don't believe. No, the head does not move at all still. The waist does not move, although, oh, I guess technically because of this gimmick. So, okay, so we're sticking with the tradition of no head or waist articulation. Apparently that's the signature move for the Bottle Change Rider series. But, you know, you got a decent shoulder movement in and out here. The shoulder pad's limited a little bit, but they move around, they play with it, so that's nice. You can get a full rotation there. You get the bicep swivel. You get 90 degrees in the elbow. You get the hands movement. You get the two sets of fingers as per usual for these figures. Out to the side, front to back. That's about as far back as you can go because of the butt flap. In the hip, then you have the thigh swivel. You have pretty much 90 degrees there in the knee, and then ball joint in the foot. So I like it. I think this is a cool form. It's a lot of gray when you first look head on at it, but you can see there's some white detailing here. I really like this blue on the side of the feet. I think that's a really cool look. Obviously you have this black here in the shins, you have the black in the hands, you have this little bit of blue here. Love this, the dragon heads on the shoulders, and I love the big translucent dragon head on his chest. Back is pretty basic, but there's some nice molded in detail. So I feel like articulation-wise, pretty much what you're used to from the Bottle Change Rider series. Like I said, still no waist or head articulation because of the gimmick, but none of the others had it, so it's kind of to be expected. I do like the driver. I think they did a pretty good job with that. Nice detailing there, nice paint. Looks really sharp. He does come with a twin breaker. It's stuck in the attack mode with the kind of sword piece out. It's kind of boring. I mean, it's got nice detail. I just wish they could have molded it in literally any color but this light gray. I mean, I guess black would have been a lot better, but even if it was in like this lighter blue or something. I feel like if it was in the same color blue as the driver, I would like it better. But, so you can just go ahead and put it in his hand. He holds it kinda. And it almost looks like they want it to attach here because you can kind of see how this little area is hollowed out for these pieces he has on his forearms here. So I appreciate that, but I kind of wish there was like, I don't know, maybe like a little peg hole or something so you could kind of bring this in and then peg it on. I feel like that would have worked a lot better and it really would have made it stay there. I mean, I guess it stays fairly decently if you can get it all situated correctly, but a little peg might have been all the difference. It's kind of boring because it's so light gray, but it's alright. But overall, I like the figure. I think the form looks cool. I like having a physical representation of him. Love the blue on the driver. That really pops. The yellow, too. Really bright. I like that. And I love the head, the shoulders, the chest. I guess we'll get close here. Really cool with the face. I love that gold for the eyes. It looks like the jaws of the dragon. Not to mention all the light blue detailing there for the dragon and the dragon head on his chest. Everywhere where there's color, it really pops. The silverish light gray is not the best, but it's okay. So anyway, to show off this gimmick, you're going to lift this up and then bring this down and out. So you can see how that works, and you kind of push that up against there. Now that's what I was talking about. The head looks like the top nozzle part of the jelly drink. And I like the eyes too, some orange eyes underneath there. So how this works is you press this button on the back where you used to take the other ones apart. Only now, when you press it, it just flips the jelly head over top. It's kind of cool. It works surprisingly well. You just have to make sure, like, don't have it down like this. You have to kind of keep it, like, tight against there. Because if you leave it down like this, it doesn't really go all the way and it doesn't work perfectly. So you kind of have to put it exactly like that. But then it flips on pretty well. So it's a goofy little gimmick. I understand they wanted to do these forms, and these forms are not, you know, two halves for build. So you couldn't incorporate the same gimmick. I mean, there was no way you're going to split this guy in half with the dragon head on his chest. And it wouldn't make sense. Because if you tried to combine it with other ones from the previous releases, it just wouldn't look right and it didn't make sense. So I understand they had to come up with some new kind of gimmick to fit these into the line. Grease's gimmick is going to be exactly the same. Obviously, it's just going to look like Grease. But it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I just like having a Cross Z-Charge action figure. I think it looks good. The paint apps are nice. The detailing's nice. And it's just a fun figure of a form that I really enjoy from the show. So I don't really care about the gimmick. The gimmicks to me were always kind of a bonus. In this line, it made sense because Build's constantly changing his two halves like Double used to. And it made sense to have a line that you could swap them back and forth because he's constantly doing that on the show. Now that that's not really a focal point that much anymore, and he's getting more towards... I mean, he still does it. But all the other Kamen Riders have fixed forms like this where they're not two halves or they're not multiple swapping situations. So you wanted to continue the line, but you didn't know how to do it. It makes sense, so they put this little gimmick in. It's fine. At the end of the day, I think it's a fun figure. I recommend picking it up just because you want a nice form of Cross Z-Charge. You're not buying it for the flipping head gimmick. That's kind of an afterthought, in my opinion. But it's a nice figure. If you just want a nice figure Cross Z-Charge, go ahead and pick this guy up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys have enjoyed this look at BCR-09 Kamen Rider Cross Z-Charge from Kamen Rider Build. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.